and board. There we go. Look at that. Hello everyone, Ferb here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, episode number 7. How are you guys doing? If you remember last episode, we didn't end on such a high note. We had to leave a man behind, and that man, of course, is Jebediah. He's sitting on this moon probe right here, with a maximum distance of about 5 million meters away from Kerbin. So that's not exactly that great. But we're gonna go and we're gonna get him today. So let me show you what we're going to do. Now, before we go and get him, there's a few things I want to do, and it's just mainly to help us out a bit, because right now, space travel's difficult. Like, it's not easy. But what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade a few things and hopefully make it a little bit easier. So first off, if we take a look at mission control, we can see that it's level 1. And if we take a look at our tracking station, we can see that it's also level 1. So that's not great, honestly. It's not the top-notch quality that our pilots deserve. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to upgrade both of these. Boop. And that's going to take away some money. And upgrade this. Boop. And there we go. You can see they're both upgraded now. And this one especially, you can see a definite difference in it. Now, that brought our cash down, which, you know, that's not great. But we got enough cash to the point where it's not a huge deal. And what this is going to allow us to do is a couple of things. But before I show you the things that they are, we are going to do one other thing, and that's go into our options. And so right now we're on difficulty options normal, right? We set that at the beginning of the series. But something that was maybe added to the normal difficulty, or maybe it just showed up and is like part of an update, is this comm network here. And that's what I was thinking last episode. I was like, oh, you need to make sure you have direct line of sight with Kerbin. No, you don't, unless you have this turned on, which I'm going to do because it actually adds quite a bit of a little bit of stuff to this, just to make it a little bit more cool. So now it's difficulty options custom, whatever, and we're gonna accept set that, right? Yeah, okay, good, and resume. So now we have something new, and if we actually go into our tracking station and we head to the moon probe and we fly it, we're going to notice that up in this top right corner here, we've got a little bit of data here. So we got full crew control. Yes, because we have crew on board, we have full crew control, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe something like that. I think if you have, if we take a look, we have a direct line of sight with Kerbin. So we've got full control of the ship, I think is what that's basically saying. Our signal strength is 100. We're connected to the crater rim, or RLM, crater RLM, or is that, yeah, or is that RIM? I don't know, the text is too small in this game. And it's a little weird. Okay, anyway, but we're connected to a tracking station on Kerbin. There are a couple of tracking stations around Kerbin. Basically, if you have direct line of sight with Kerbin, you'll have direct line of sight with one of those tracking stations. We can transmit science, so that's good. That's what that one's talking about. And direct connection to the space center we do not have. That's why it's white, I'm pretty sure, maybe. And that's because the space center is not within our range. I'm not sure where it is, though, on here. Yeah, it's somewhere on there. But whatever. Actually, I think it's somewhere right over here, but we'll see. Anyway, doesn't matter. This is where we are. That's the new stuff that's added. But there is actually some other stuff that's added now. You can see when we're going over the line that we're currently on, we can click and add a maneuver. And then we can change all of our orbit stuff from here. So for example, let's say I wanted an orbit like that, and I got this orbit super perfect using these maneuver nodes here. Then we can see that it's going to require, if I had some fuel, which I don't, so it's not going to give me any information, I would orient myself towards a node that's over this way. Again, I don't want to move because I've got like a very limited amount of resources with me right now. And then it would tell me when the node is, when we're going to reach that node in our orbit. And then it'll tell us how long we need to burn while at that node and at the spot we need to burn like in which direction, to achieve this exact orbit here. So that's pretty cool, and that's going to help us a lot, because, you know, without it, we're basically guessing, but with it, we can get some real precise orbits, and that is going to be pretty awesome. So let's head back to the Space Center, and off camera, I actually created a ship already called, not the Mega Impact, that didn't work. It was basically a ship with like a thing at the top. Since we can't dock onto the ship and bring it back down to Kerbin, I was just gonna like sort of push it and slow it down. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It won't fly properly. It was actually a kind of a cool experiment though, but it's not really worth showing. But yeah, what I actually created was the Rescuer right here, which if you take a look at it, it has actually we can go fly it right now. We're going to fly with Valentina Kerman because she's the only other pilot, and I kind of need to have a pilot on board. So we're not doing science or anything. We're not going to worry about the rest. But yes, we'll get to Valentina, and we'll take her into space. So we're going to launch the vessel. And while we're on the ground, I'll sort of show you guys what we're working with. This is actually basically just a modified version of the Moonlander. You can see I changed a few things, moved these down, removed the clamps on the edge just to save some cost because we don't really need them. I added some aerodynamic cones to the top of all these just so it flies up a little bit better. What else did we add? Oh, of course, the one thing that's pretty obvious that I added was the crew cabin. I removed all the other stuff that's not necessary, and I added this crew cabin. So the crew cabin here basically allows for two other Kerbals to, you know, be in there. So there's, I don't know, there's a spot somewhere on there, I think, or maybe the entrance to it's through this command pod or something, and we can like bring them down. I don't know how it works, but basically we can go get Jebediah, bring him in here, and bring the whole thing back down to Kerbin, yeah. So yeah, that's sort of the plan. You can see we cannot transmit science. We got no antennas on board. I don't need antennas. We're not doing science. That's not the point of this. Maybe we'll do a crew report. Who knows? And I think we can do crew reports through here too. Yes, we can. So we got crew report here, crew report here. That's pretty good. Okay. And we can probably do an EVA report too if we're really serious about getting a little bit of science out of this. Every trip we should get a little bit of science. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off. We're going to get into an orbit that's pretty much the same as the Moon probe. And once we're into that basic orbit, well, first we're going to orbit Kerbin. That's step number one. Step number one, orbit Kerbin. But once we've got that down, then I'll show you guys what we're going to do. So let's get going. Okay. I think we're good. Yes, we are good. Let's go. Take off. Power. There we go. We need that. Good. Good. Okay. So we're going to go up. And we're going to use a bit of a different technique that I've sort of learned between episodes. And let's see if we can do it. So once we get up, once our solid fuel actually is sort of maybe around third left. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to want to start turning, but we want to turn this way. I don't know why it's wanting to turn that way, but we want to turn this way. So we're going to want to start moving. Keep moving. Our solid fuel boosters are going to run out right away. We're actually going to want to drop our overall speed. There we go. Keep moving. Drop those boosters. Keep moving. Whoa, why are you doing that? Bring the speed back up. Again, just along this 45-degree line here. And we're at about 800 meters. We want to just drop that speed now. Okay, so where are we at? Our apoapsis needs to go up actually a little bit higher. So again, staying at that 45. We're going to wait till that apoapsis gets up to probably around 80 meters. We can see our fuel tanks just cut off. You can see we got a little bit of liquid fuel in there. But as soon as we drop these other things, this is going to fill back up. Look at that. And that's because of that asparagus staging that we talked about last episode. That extra fuel and stuff is going to go back. Okay, that's at 82. Let's bring it to like 85 maybe. Okay, 85 meters. Now we're going to reorient our rockets so that we are on the horizon. Just like, whoa, don't want to go past the horizon. Just like that. There we go. So now that we're here, we're going to wait until we get a little bit closer to the apoapsis, and we're going to do another burn. So our ship right now, we're doing pretty good. Good. Cool. And before we do anything else, I'm going to right click on this moon probe, or just click on it and say set as target. There we go. There. Okay, and we're getting close to the apoapsis. Once we get down to around 35 seconds, maybe a little bit 40 seconds, we're going to do that burn right at the horizon. And it should get a little bit farther away, or a little bit closer. In this case, it is actually getting a little bit closer, so I want to back off a little bit. Right around there. Okay, there we go. We're no longer moving towards the apoapsis. The apoapsis is moving away, which is good. And once that moves to around 40 seconds away, we're going to want to stop the engines, because then we're getting a little bit not so efficient with it. Or not even stop the engine. We just want to move back towards that horizon line. So we're getting further away, so move back towards the horizon line. It's going to start falling back down again. So now we're at 33 seconds to it. And we're just going to keep increasing the orbit. Now I want that apoapsis to go a little bit farther away. I want it to go up to maybe like a minute and a half. Maybe a little bit farther. There we go. We're going to stop it there. Now we want to click on the apoapsis, add a maneuver node, and now we want to start getting into orbit with our ship. And we're going to want to get it to just about right there. So there we go. We're getting pretty close to that center point there, and that's good. Yeah, okay, we're going to want to get to that. So what we're going to want to do is move over to this maneuver node. And we got 49 seconds for that estimated burn. So we're going to want to start burning actually right now. So we want to start burning at half the time until that. So yeah. Yeah, so now we should, once the node is at 0, we should be about halfway down to the point where we need to be, pretty much. Now, once we're getting to the end of our maneuver, this maneuver node's sort of going to move on us, so we want to just be a little careful, because it will sort of start moving, and that's never a good thing. So you're going to have to just slightly track it. And once we're getting close to the end of this maneuver, we're going to want to slow ourselves down and just do tiny little increases of speed. There we go. We're at 3.6 meters per second. That's pretty good. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay, there we go. We're at 0.3. That's good. That's good. That's about as close as we can probably get it. Okay. So now that we're here, we are going to want to get into the same orbit as this moon probe. So we're going to want to go over to our apoapsis. Okay, we're going to want to start getting nodes going. Very important to use nodes when you're doing this stuff here. So we want to go out. We want to maneuver our stuff so that we're more in line. Back this way, actually. There we go. That's actually pretty darn close right there. Yeah, and we're at the same level, right? Oh, maybe not quite. No, not quite. Actually, though, I don't think that's the spot we need to worry about it. Yeah. Okay, let's get into that orbit, and then we'll worry about making some more maneuvers. So that's in 46 minutes, so we'll move ourselves, and then we will time warp to that position. Okay, there we go. That's looking pretty good right there. And now we just need to be a little bit closer. You know what, actually? We don't have a lot of liquid fuel left in there. There's no point in even keeping that as part of the ship. Let's just get rid of it. This is going to take us 25 seconds, so we want to start burning at 13 seconds, 12 seconds. We'll go 12. 13, 12. Oh, that changed. Oh, we're not going to be quite in the right orbit now, but that's okay. So that changed on me because I dropped off that other rocket that it was actually calculating that time for. Oh, that's not good. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. So we're about 10 seconds late on that burn. Okay, get back to that maneuver node. We need to go a little bit farther. And cut it. There we go. Okay. So we are in a pretty close orbit to where the other... to what the other rocket's at. You can see we've used up quite a bit of liquid fuel, but we should still be good. Because now it's all just tiny maneuvers, basically. Except for a couple of things. So if we take a look at this descending node, you can see it says that we are... our inclination of our orbit is off by about 1.9 to the target, which our target is the ship, obviously. So what we want to do is we want to go to this descending node, right there, add a maneuver. And we're going to want to, if it's off by negative 1.9, we're going to want to add 1.9 to it. So we go here. That's negative 0.9. Okay, and you can see it's actually moving off of this spot now, so we're going to want to move it back. There we go. That's negative 0.3. 0.3. 0.1. Oh, no! Crap. It's so hard to grab the right spot on these. Okay, anyway, moving up. Oh, that's way too far up. That's negative 0.3. Move on to it. 0.3. 0.1. There we go. It's still 0.1. 0.1. Oh, so now we are switched. Okay, there we go. 0.0. We are good now. Okay. So once we get there, we're going to do this burn. Now this burn is like the slightest little burn. But what it does is it changes our inclination. And that is going to allow us to do some stuff that wouldn't be possible unless we change it. And doing that should result in just everything working. Again, without doing this, you will have a bad time. And what we're doing to get caught up to this ship right here, we're doing like the slowest and just most controllable way. You can do it like really, really quickly if you're experienced, and you can do it without being at the same orbit. But it is a lot easier if you just do this. Just if you want something easy, try doing this. Again, I'm not even that experienced. I'm not experienced in the Kerbal Space Program, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to warp closer to this point. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes away. Let's get reoriented. Whoa, that's a little bit too far. And you can see that's exactly on that node right there, because that's all we changed in our maneuver. So really, we don't even need to use a maneuver node for it, but it helps because now we know exactly where we need to be. Okay, and we're gonna want to burn right on that node because we just need to get up to 26.5 meters per second. So need to add that. So yeah, we're just moving closer. So let's get a little bit closer. That's 3 minutes. Okay, we're down to about 40 seconds. Continue speed warping until we get a little bit closer. Okay, we're down to about 12. Make sure we're still on that node. Still on it. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, move back up. There we go. What are we at? We're a descending node of 0.0, ascending node 0.0. So if we remove that, yeah, 0.0, 0.0. There we go. So we're at the right inclination now. So everything's going really good right now. And what we can see right now is our apoapsis is 5.7 million. And the ship's apoapsis is 5.6 million. So we're above it. And what that means is we want to catch up to the ship. It's in front of us. So we want to actually be at a lower orbit than the ship, and we'll actually go faster than it. And as we orbit, we should eventually get close to it. And that's the trick. That's really the trick here. So what we want to do is we want to get to our apoapsis right here, add a maneuver, and we want to retrograde. And we want to retrograde to, let's see if its periapsis is at, okay, its periapsis is at, we're actually not bad on that side. It's just this side that we need to change. Okay, let's get rid of this node. I don't want it. So we're about 50,000 meters away here, so we should probably be about 50,000 below here. So we want to go to the periapsis here, add a maneuver, and we want to retrograde. So now our apoapsis is at 5.5. Yeah, so that's the lowest. So its apoapsis is 5.6 million. So we want to be at 5.5. So 5,560,000. So we're actually a little bit too low there. 550,060,000. Yeah, that's about good right there. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we want to wait till we get around to that periapsis, and then we'll do that. And then we should be in a orbit just slightly lower than the than our moon probe right here. Okay, so let's warp over to if this is a day and 2 hours away, this is a day and 2 hours, day 2 hours and 53 minutes, day 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, we're good there. So let's warp there. Okay, so we're getting close. It's just a very slight burn, but it's a very essential burn so that we can start catching up to our ship. That's what we're doing right now, is we're catching up to the other ship, and once we've caught up enough, we will be able to get where we need to go. Let's actually switch this to target right now. That's just going to give us a little bit more information about our target. We can see it's going a lot, or we're going a lot faster than it right now, which makes sense. We're in a lower orbit than it. We're going to be going faster than it. Okay, so now let's warp a little bit closer to this node. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow us down. Okay, we're within 15 seconds, so just get ready, and I'm just going to basically flick it on, flick it off. And that's basically what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. So now that's pretty close. I think that's good enough. Yeah. So now our periaps, or our apoapsis, should actually be lower. Yeah, so it's at, yeah, actually that's pretty close. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Good. Okay, we're actually pretty much right where I want it to be. Okay, so now we need to catch up to the moon probe. So we're gonna start time warping, and we're just gonna slowly catch up to it, and you can see that now. What we're going to look at now is you can see these intersection nodes. Now it's saying that the closest intersection we're having is when we are at this, or when we are at this point and the ship is at this point. But as we go around, you'll notice that those are going to start updating. So it's at there now. You're going to see as soon as it passes, or actually we're going to see this one update, I think. There we go, you just saw it update. So we are getting closer and closer to this ship. Now, if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, you could put your orbit even lower and have it catch up even quicker, but I don't feel like doing that, so we're going to play it safe, and we're just going to do this. And it works really well. So as we get closer and closer, now what I'm going to do now, just because I know I'm going to screw this up, let's just do a save. And yeah, we're going to test some things while we're doing this, because I might screw it up, so I guess we're going to see. So it's going to keep getting closer, a couple more rotations, and we should be good. Okay, so you can see right there, that is damn close right there. So, what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to get to the same speed as our moon probe. So, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get into the same orbit as it mainly. So we're going to want to go to the periapsis, and we're going to want to actually we're probably going to want to wait till we're at the so we'll wait till we're at the apoapsis. So let's get the node ready. We're going to want to no node over there. I want to put a node here, add a maneuver node, and we're going to want to bring our periapsis of 3,888,000 to 3,938,000. So that's at, where is it now? Okay, wait, no, we want to go back a little bit. Right there. I think it's right when it splits. Yeah. So that's 3,933, 3,938. Yeah, that's kind of close. Not exact, but I think it should work. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we need to get to that next node. And this is just going to speed us up ever so slightly. There we go. And you can see our separation is about 16.3 kilometers. So that's close, but not super close. Okay, so now we're here. So now we want to, again, slow ourselves down a little bit more. You can see we're traveling at 13.4 meters per second relative to our ship. And we should actually... are we going to get visual representation of where our ship is? We might not be close enough yet. Yeah, I think we're actually close enough. So we're going to wait till our closest point, which is over here. Although it might actually be over here. Let's see. We're at, we're 93, was that kilometers? Would that be 93 kilometers? I'm not sure. Yeah, because 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. So yeah, 92 kilometers, 91 kilometers, 89 kilometers. We want to wait until we're just like at the closest point, which it looks like it will be 16, 15, 13, 12. So we're getting closer. It's 11. There we go. There we go. So that's our closest point that we're going to be at. So we're going to want to go here, and we're going to want to just go retrograde. And we want to slow ourselves down until we're moving at the exact same speed as the target. So go here and just tap it. Okay, it's moving a little bit, so we're going to move with it. There we go. So we're moving basically at 0 meters per second relative to it. So we're moving at exactly the same speed, pretty much. You can see it's 8, yeah. So we're moving at pretty much the same speed. That's good. So now we're going to want to orient ourselves towards the target node. So that's this one. Just to be sure, that's the one facing away from the moon, right? Yep. Okay, good. And we're going to want to just bring ourselves up to maybe 20 meters per second, going towards the object. So at 20 meters per second. And now we're going to slowly start catching up to it. We're at 875, whereas it is at 856. And we're going to slowly start moving towards it. And once we are about to pass it, we're going to slow ourselves down again. And we're going to do that again, if that makes any sense. So let's do a warp. So you can see we're getting real close to it. I think actually we want to do it at our closest point, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, that is at we're moving closer to it. We're going to keep moving closer to it. We're at 6 kilometers, 5.5 kilometers. This is really good, guys. This is exactly where we want to be. 4.5, 4.4, 4.3. Okay, we're at 4. Okay, I think we don't need to worry about getting farther away from it yet, because we're going to wait until we are at... Okay, we're getting real close. What are we at? We're at a separation of 0.1 kilometers. That's perfect. That's what we want to be at. So once we get to that, we'll slow our speed down. So we're going to rotate to retrograde. And we're going to get close. Where is it? Can we see it on the map yet? Is that it right there? I think it is. Yeah, that's it right there. Start slowing down. Okay, now we're actually moving away from it, but you can see it right there. So we're going to want to face towards the target again. Actually, we want to first off be going at 0. Okay, that's pretty much 0. Orient ourselves so we're pointed towards ship, and we're gonna go at maybe like 10 meters per second. So now we're moving back towards it. Now we want to reorient ourselves, so we're doing retrograde because we want to slow ourselves down the second that we are about to hit this thing, which we don't want to. We don't want to hit it. We want to get close to it. So you can see it right there. We're real close. Slow ourselves down a little bit. Slow it a little bit more. So we're moving 3.5. We're moving at 2 meters per second towards it. We're moving at 1.5. We want to get as close as possible so we can just do a quick spacewalk over. Okay, I think that's about as close as we're going to get. 0.3. 0.0. We are moving at the same speed as this ship right here. And if we take a look at our orbit now, we have the exact same orbit. Or like off by like 1 or 2 meters basically. So that's it's important to note that's not the way they actually do it, you know, in real life and stuff. It's a little bit different. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but this is the easiest way to get to this point. And then if you were to dock, if you were trying to dock on this ship, you'd have to do a few other things once you're in this position. But we're not trying to dock. We want to control. We actually want to just EVA Jebediah, and we're leaving the ship here. We're not doing anything with the ship. So again, we're gonna want to can we You know what? We might actually want to... let's board again quickly. We want to go back to the ship for a second. We want to transfer her. So she's now in this area here. There we go. Oh, we want to transfer there. Okay, so she's moved to the crew cabin. Good. So we now want to EVA. So Jebediah, you're going to EVA. And we're going to want to let go. Turn on RCS. And we're just going to want to inch our way over to the ship. There we go. And board. There we go. Look at that. It took a lot of time, but we are now here. Now that we're here, we have gotten Jebediah onto our ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, bring our probably periapsis down, right? Yeah, so we want to go to the apoapsis, and we want to bring our periapsis down to, like, there, right? Actually, what would our periapsis be at that point? It's not even telling us. We don't want to bring it down to like that. We want to bring it down to just under 70. Yeah. 79. 49, that's pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to want to wait till we get over there, and we want to do this burn. It's a 5-second burn. I don't know if that's not a 5-second burn. Is it? That's not... I don't know, I guess we'll see. Anyway, so we're going to want to warp over to that node, and if we notice, once we get over there, let's warp over there, we should see that we're actually still fairly close to the ship the whole way around, wherever it is. I don't know where it is anymore, but we should honestly still be fairly close to it. Yeah. Where is it? I don't know where the ship is. It doesn't matter anyway. How far away am I from it? Oh, I am quite a ways away now. Yeah, I'm about 4 kilometers, almost 5, so yeah, I wouldn't see it right now. But that's okay, because we're where we need to be. So, okay, we're going to do a burn there. So we need to get a little bit closer. And let's see, we're doing good on electric charge. We're doing good on fuel. Okay, we're doing good overall. We want to wait till we're about 2 seconds away from the node. Although something tells me... Yeah. So we're actually doing a 26-second burn. So that would be a 13 seconds from the node. Always good to just do that little burn so it re-updates that estimated burn, because it's not always correct. Okay, so once we're down to about 13, we will activate and go. Good. We still got plenty of liquid fuel. Yes, we finally have done a mission where we did not run out of liquid fuel. Good. And you know, honestly, in the rescue mission from a ship that did run out of liquid fuel, it'd be pretty bad if we ran out of liquid fuel during it. Okay, let's follow that node. Okay, follow it again. Okay, what are we at for our periapsis? Yeah, we're definitely good. We're good. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that. Now, we should actually just, you know, we should be good once we get there. I'm probably going to take this stage here. Wait, we've got a, do we have? Yeah, we got heat shielding there. That's good. That's something I was not sure if we had or not. I'm actually going to use this extra bit of liquid fuel to slow us down once we get closer to Kerbin. I don't think you need to technically, but I'm going to. So let's head off. Oh, we got really close really fast. Okay. So let's go to retrograde. And just slow us down. And now we're going to break off, because that's no longer needed. We don't care about it. Okay. So we are going to land right over here, looks like. Good. I want to get this stuff, and I just want to make sure. I'm going to pin it up here, just so we can make sure we have enough ablator, which, you know, that's what actually keeps the heat shield from doing the same thing as the rest of your rocket. That's the coolant in it, basically. So I just want to make sure. I actually want to see how much we use, because we can actually remove this in the production stage of our rocket and save some cash and some weight on our rocket. So I want to see how much of this we actually use, and once I know how much we actually use, we can, you know, properly position it so that we don't run out of it, or not run out of it, so that we don't I don't know, do something. I want to keep myself positioned. Oh, it's hard to position this because... There we go. There we go. Stay positioned. Okay. We're slowing down. Once we get down below 1,000, we should be pretty much good. I've heard something blow up, but I think it's just the other parts of my rocket. Okay. There we go. We didn't even use... We used like 25 ablator. So we don't need that much for sure. We can definitely remove some of that. Okay. So now, as we're going down, I want to set this just to retrograde now, so it's just following it. Good. It's going to use a bit of electric charge, but we've got plenty of that right now. Jebediah and Valentina are both good. If we take a look at the view from Valentina, you can see this is that little crew pod here that she's sitting in. So, yeah, that's that. How do I go back now? C? Yeah. Okay, and we're dropping down. We are at 412, 400 meters per second. We're at about 8,000 meters. I don't want to deploy my parachutes just yet, I don't think. They're not gonna deploy until 1,000 meters. So I'll do it maybe at probably soon, actually. Yeah, let's deploy them now. So deploy the parachutes, and we can just get rid of that. And once we're below 1,000 meters relative to the ground, so not relative to this isn't going to do anything. But once we're close to it, because there are mountains here, so I'm assuming it'll deploy right away. There we go. So we were actually, the ground elevation is actually about 500 meters here, which is kind of interesting. Let's do a crew report here. Let's do a crew report here. Nothing. Okay. Crew report here won't do anything either, will it? Nope. I guess I forgot to do crew reports up there. But that's okay. Oh, that's not gonna slow us down enough, is it? Oh wait, no, that's orbit still. Okay, we are slowed down enough. Good. I was wondering why it was like all wacky. But yeah, we're good. And yeah, we only use like 25, not even 25 heat shield. So that's good. Okay, and then we'll just physics warp our way down. And there we go. Look at that. We did it. Nice. Okay. Jebediah is officially back safe. And I think we're done. I think we're done for the episode. It took a little bit of a learning curve for me, so it took a little bit longer than it should have. But now that I've done it, I think we can do it again pretty easily. Which we're not going to, because we need to complete those other contracts, or the other contract that we didn't complete last episode. So, okay, so we got 1 data. I don't know what that is, but recovery of a vessel, yeah. Parts, what are we at? 26.2% value. So we got 26.2% of the funds back that we spent. Or is it 26.2% of the parts we recovered, that percentage of the value we got back? I think that's what it is, because I spent like 26,000 on that ship. So, and there we go. Valentina is now at level 1, so she is now at the same experience as Jebediah, which is good. That's something that is really good, actually, because now we can use both of them interchangeably. Good. Nice. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future uploads, and hit the bell. You'll get notifications for all those future uploads. Yeah, so make sure you guys come back for Kerbal Space Program episode number 8, 7, 7, 8, 8, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I'm on a roll with these Kerbal Space Program videos. I'm really into Kerbal Space Program again, which is good, because we need more variety on the channel, and Kerbal Space Program is just that awesome game that combines, like, well, I mean, it doesn't combine anything. It's like my favorite thing, which is space travel, so that's good. Anyway, guys, First and Dells 1 signing off. See you guys in the next video.